The rain hammered against the corrugated metal roof of Alexander's workshop as he wiped grease from his hands with an old rag. Another day, another dozen broken machines brought to him by the desperate residents of Sector 7. His reputation as the only human mechanic who could fix Zephyrian technology had spread throughout the lower districts, though it rarely brought him anything more than scraps and gratitude. Alexander was bent over a malfunctioning hoverbike when the workshop door creaked open. He looked up to see a young woman with platinum hair and striking violet eyes, clearly Zephyrian nobility, though her expensive robes were torn and muddy. She cradled something against her chest protectively. "Please," she said, her voice carrying the melodic accent of the upper city. "They said you could fix anything." Alexander set down his plasma wrench and approached her. As she stepped into the light, he could see what she was holding. A small humanoid droid, no bigger than a child's toy, but crafted with exquisite detail. Its crystalline power core flickered weakly in its transparent chest cavity. "What happened to it?" Alexander asked, gently taking the droid from her trembling hands. "An accident," she whispered. "I was being pursued. We fell from a transport. He tried to protect me and—" She gestured helplessly at the droid's damaged limbs. Alexander examined the little machine carefully. Its left arm hung at an odd angle, and one of its optical sensors was cracked. But what struck him most was the craftsmanship. This wasn't just any droid. The quantum circuitry, the bioadaptive neural pathways, the miniaturized fusion core, this was technology he'd only seen in theoretical schematics. "This is a companion droid," he said quietly. "Royal family issue. These aren't just machines, they're practically alive." The woman, Nora, she'd quietly introduced herself, nodded with tears in her eyes. "He's been with me since childhood. He's family." Alexander looked at the diagnostic readings on his scanner. The repairs would require rare quantum crystals worth more than his workshop made in a year. But something in Nora's expression, the way she looked at the little droid like a wounded pet, made his decision for him. "I'll fix him," Alexander said simply. "I can pay you—" "No charge," Alexander interrupted. "Just give me tonight." Nora's violet eyes widened in surprise. In the stratified society of New Zephyr, humans were laborers, mechanics, servants. They didn't perform acts of kindness for Zephyrian nobility without expectation of reward. But something in Alexander's honest face made her nod. "Thank you," she whispered and slipped back into the rain-soaked night. Alexander worked through the night, his human hands proving surprisingly adept at the delicate Zephyrian technology. He cannibalized parts from his own diagnostic equipment to replace the droid's damaged components, rewrote sections of its neural code with modifications that would actually improve its performance, and used his last quantum crystal to repair its power core. As dawn approached, the little droid's optical sensors flickered to life. It sat up slowly, looking around with childlike wonder before its gaze settled on Alexander. "Thank you," it said in a voice like tinkling bells. "Creator friend Alexander." Alexander smiled tiredly. "Just Alexander is fine, little guy." The droid nodded solemnly, then began running self-diagnostics, clearly amazed at how smoothly its systems were functioning. Alexander had done more than repair it, he'd optimized it. The morning sun was just breaking through the storm clouds when Alexander heard the rumble of approaching vehicles. Through his workshop window he saw them, sleek black hovercars bearing the golden phoenix insignia of the Royal Guard, surrounding his building in a perfect perimeter. Alexander's heart hammered as armored figures emerged from the vehicles, their energy weapons glowing ominously. He'd fixed Zephyrian tech before, but never anything this advanced. Had he committed some crime without knowing it? The workshop door burst open, and a figure in elaborate ceremonial armor strode in, the captain of the Royal Guard himself. Behind him walked Nora, but now she wore a circlet of crystalline stars and robes of pure white. Alexander's breath caught as he realized who she truly was. "Princess Nora," he breathed. She smiled sadly. "I apologize for the deception, Alexander, but I had to know if humans were truly capable of—" She gestured at the perfectly functioning droid beside him. The captain stepped forward, his hand resting on his energy blade. "The penalty for tampering with royal technology is death, human." Alexander straightened, meeting the alien's multifaceted gaze without flinching. If this was how humanity's story ended for him, so be it. But Princess Nora raised her hand. Captain examined the droid. The guard captain activated his scanner, and Alexander watched his expression change from hostility to confusion to something approaching awe. The neural pathways are 30% more efficient, the captain reported. Power consumption reduced by half. Combat subroutines optimized beyond our own specifications. He looked at Alexander with new respect. How did a human accomplish this? Alexander shrugged. I just saw what needed fixing and fixed it. Princess Nora stepped closer. In one night you achieved what our best technicians said would take months. You didn't just repair Keeper, you made him better. The little droid chirped happily at the mention of its name. And you asked for nothing in return. The captain lowered his weapon. Your Highness, what are your orders? Princess Nora studied Alexander for a long moment. Alexander of Sector 7, by royal decree, I name you Chief Technical Advisor to the Crown, if you'll accept. Alexander looked around his humble workshop, then at the princess who had trusted a stranger with something precious, then at little Keeper who was examining his own enhanced systems with delight. Will I still be able to help the people down here? He asked. Princess Nora smiled, the first genuine smile he'd seen from her. Especially the people down here. As the royal guard formed an honor escort and hovercars prepared to carry him to a new life, Alexander realized something profound. Sometimes the greatest victories weren't won through strength or technology, but through the simple human act of helping someone in need, expecting nothing in return. Humanity's greatest weapon, it turned out, wasn't their ingenuity or their stubborn resilience. It was their compassion.